Hello. In this video, I would like to discuss about how to go about in this current affairs. This is something which most people have a lot of doubt and apprehension and even anxiety, because civil service exam preparation and current affairs. So, you cannot imagine of preparing for this exam without having a good grasp of what is happening around us in various aspects. In fact, it is not just general knowledge or it is not just general studies, the syllabus. Current affairs covers almost everything, and in fact beyond the syllabus. Even the what you call the general knowledge will come under this current affairs. So, it is quite vast, but how to handle it, how to there is no end to knowledge. You cannot think of mastering everything and then going for the exam. We have to control, we have to have a limit. See, everything, the quality and quantity. We have to have an understanding of what is the limit of that quantity or what is the limit of that quality. We need both, but it's a nice balance between quantity and quality should be there. We cannot endlessly prepare current affairs, and if you do only current affairs, you will not achieve anything. You will not be able to clear even preliminary, because exam is not only about current affairs. So, the heading for me today or in this video is current affairs, how to go about in current affairs and what all we can do, or rather what should we do mandatorily in the name of current affairs. That is what we are looking. So, first thing, let me just tell you, we need a nice blend of basic understanding, basic knowledge, as well as what is happening around us. So, there is a very famous adage about civil service preparation. People say, I mean, it is not, you don't take it literally. People say, oh, it's 50% NCRT and 50% newspaper. So, you don't take it in the literary meaning of that, but if you look a bit more in depth, you can understand that the meaning, I would like to modify it and tell you that it is not just about NCRT. 50% is your basic understanding, your knowledge about history, geography. See, even if no question, even if there is no question from say ancient history in a particular year, that does not mean that you should not prepare. You should know ancient history very well. You should know medieval history very well. Even if no question on say world geography and Latin America, you should know something about that. You cannot prepare and you cannot be successful in this exam without having any knowledge about say Latin America or South America, for example, or no idea about Australia and still you are preparing and getting, so the chances are very, very less. So, basic understanding of history, geography, polity, the constitution, the economy, general science. So, that is that 50%. So, you should not worry about what is in news right now. Your understanding, your basic knowledge about all these areas, that is a must. Then the second 50% is about what is happening around us. What is happening around us? See, now newspaper will give us a clue. It's not that that particular event is asked. It may be something else is asked, but the lead, the clue for the examiner came from that event. Now, for example, let me just give you some clarity. Say this corona virus and the pandemic across the globe, that is the talk of the town of 2020. Now, there may not be any question on the present pandemic, but there can be questions on the previous similar coronavirus epidemics which has happened. Say for example, SARS, the the Middle East MERS, Middle East the syndrome, or you can also get questions on Spanish flu. History now, 1918 Spanish flu, or the previous such pandemics and the mass death, the plague. plague deaths, the Black Death and all, what you call. So, what happened in the 14th century? Have an idea about that. So, this is a clue. So, coronavirus pandemic is a clue for you to know many things which has happened in the past. So, this will give us an idea. Or see, the Citizenship Amendment Act, another example let me just give. Citizenship Amendment Act, the controversial act which is passed by the parliament. Now, there may not be any question on the Citizenship Amendment Act as such, but there may be questions on the provisions in the constitution related to citizenship. Article 5 to 11. Provisions on in the constitution. Why this question is asked? Because of the Citizenship Amendment Act, or the ways in which you can acquire citizenship, the Citizenship Act of 1955, the Citizenship Act 1955. So, what I am trying to say is, this will give us a clue. You have to take that clue, you have to grab this clue and study something beyond what is happening on that particular issue. That is why when we say civil service preparation is 50% NCERT and 50% newspaper, it is, there is some meaning in that. So, the idea behind the whole thing is, you need to have a solid foundation, solid understanding. To start with, NCERT books are the best, and even in the main exam. See, NCERT book reading is not for preliminary exam, it is even for the main exam. So, the base and the foundation and the knowledge, the necessary basic knowledge comes from doing all these basic subjects. And you have to be very open as far as the happenings around us are concerned, and newspapers will play a very crucial role, but that does not mean that we can do only newspaper every day, full day, 6 hours, 8 hours you are doing newspaper. No, that also will be counterproductive, because you will not have enough time to do other things. See, you have to do this basic study, the basics, the subject, the syllabus you have to study for GS, basics in GS you have to study. We need to study your optional subject. We have to study, there is no choice. Every day we will have to study. We will have to do some answer writing practice. We need to do some maths, mental ability, reasoning also, because you need a lot of practice in that. Maths, mental ability, reasoning practice. And to cover the syllabus, your basics of GS is NCERT, I agree, but you may have to attend some classes. Then you have to study what is taught in the class. Self-study time should be there. Then newspaper is there. So, please realize that there are too many things to be done, and we have to balance. See, success in civil service exam depends upon how balanced you are in your preparation, balance in dealing with various requirements of the exam. See, even if I add, say suppose NCERT reading if you spend 2 hours, optional subject you spend 2 hours, answer writing and multiple choice question practice if you are spending say 1 hour, maths, mental ability, reasoning if you spend 1 hour, because you have to constantly practice. The paper 2 is not that easy to get through. The CSAT, what we call the maths, mental ability, reasoning, that area, even if you are an engineer, you need practice. Okay, you may take some lesser time. Instead of 1 hour, you may do half an hour, but you cannot say that I will not do any practice and still I will get through. It may not be that easy. You need to do practice. You have to attend class. So, maybe 2 hours of class. Then self-study, what is taught in the class, another 2 hours. So, if you add this, see now 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 hours already gone out of 24 hours. Now, newspaper, how much time you can spend? Maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours, not more than that. So, all good things have to, we have to manage, because we have to study your optional, we have to study the basics, we have to study, some advanced areas. Say in history, okay, just NCERT will not do, but you need to do NCERT also. So, we have to divide time. Now, in that context, let me just remind you, we cannot spend more than 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes Maybe the at the maximum, if you stretch it, it is 1.5 hours for newspaper and current affairs on a daily basis. You cannot do more than that. So, the first requirement is we should know there should be, everything has to happen in a time. So, the first requirement for you is the time limit for current affairs. So, I will say that 1 hour 15 minutes, because you may be even watching some TV also, some news channel discussion also. So, if you have to spend that, so another half an hour will go in that. So, it takes a lot of time. So, please fix the time limit first, 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes, and please do not try to stretch more than that. And most importantly, then you should also decide, when you identify a topic, please decide whether it is for preliminary exam or for main exam. You have to decide that, and that understanding will come only if you know the syllabus very well. So, if it is for main exam, you should know the syllabus also, and you should know what kind of questions are being asked in the previous year also. Both, see, you have to constantly read and revise and familiarize on the syllabus and the previous year question. So, every time, I will say every day, you please read the syllabus. You memorize the syllabus if required. It does not take much time, 3-4 pages. You try to memorize the syllabus first. As a beginner, if you have to 3-4 pages of syllabus, if you have to memorize, it is not a big deal. We can do it. Or even if you did not by heart it, every day if you read, within a month's time you will by heart it. Please by heart. Every day you read, so that you know what is that you are supposed to do on a daily basis. So, syllabus and previous year question should be your guide, and please identify the topic which you are reading. If it is for preliminary, if it is for main, their understanding will come only by knowing the syllabus and previous year questions. And if it is for preliminary, collect 3-4 points. But if it is for main exam, and in depth, see, when it comes to main exam, the depth of understanding, see, in the syllabus, or rather even in the notification it is written about the main exam, the depth of understanding of the candidates rather than merely the range of their information and memory. So, in main exam you need the depth of understanding. The depth of understanding, and then the questions are will be such that a well educated person will be able to answer. No specialized study, that is also very important. You should not be doing research and development in these areas. No specialized study. No specialized study. So, in every introductory lecture I am giving this idea. So, take it very seriously. We do not require any specialized study. A well educated person, a layman's understanding, with common sense, apply common sense. Candidates general awareness on a variety of subjects. So, what is UPSC expecting is not you have a very focused understanding of 1 or 2 subjects. Candidates general awareness on a variety of subjects. General awareness on a variety of subjects. Very important, and which is relevant for the civil service career also mentioned. And most importantly, the key to success in the main exam is your ability to analyze and take a view on conflicting socio-economic goals. Your ability to analyze and take a view. See, this is something I would like to remind you every now and then. Take a view, take a stand, have an opinion, take a view on conflicting socio-economic goals, objectives and demands. Okay, how to take a view on. See, now you should have a view, you should have an opinion. That is what we are trying. See, in the whole class, in our whole program, I will help you, or we, our teachers, all of us are, very much particular about you having an opinion. And please realize one thing, our opinion is to help you in writing and good answers and giving good opinion in the interview, so that this can be used in the exam, you can get the best marks in the exam. And we will talk common sense only, in secular, socialist, democratic, with justice, equality, fraternity, liberty. So what is written in our preamble, that balance. I even talked about in a discussion on essay, I said the balance will include when you talk about, when you are pro women, pro poor, pro sustainable development, pro nature, pro environment. When you understand, when you start behaving, when you start talking like this, people will think that yes, this man has some understanding, some depth. You see, you are coming from various walks of life, you have various background, various upbringing. Unfortunately, because of your upbringing and the place in which you are living, you may have some mindset about certain things in India. Some of you may have some doubts regarding secularism and all. Ye kyon hai, bekar hai, this is not useful, this is not relevant. It's not like that. You have to come with the correct opinion, correct view. Take a view, take a stand. You stand for the truth. You have to stand for the truth. So that conviction we will provide, we will help you in getting it. So a main exam preparation is not just some collection of facts and figures. It's not about mere memory and some facts and figures. No, we need to take a stand, we need to analyze and take a stand on, kind of view on conflicting socio-economic goals, objectives and demands. And your answers should be relevant, meaningful, succinct. So everything is written in the notification. So we have to, so keeping that in mind, when you talk about the main exam, so we need to really have good understanding of the content. So you cannot read too many things and collect too many material and all. So that deeper understanding should be there. So if you collect something, it should be with understanding. So if it is for main exam, you should be able to write 150 words, 250 words with understanding, with analysis, with your opinion. So that is what you should be trying to collect it. So it is not, so that is why I said, first of all, you please decide whether it is for prelim and whether it is for main. If it is for prelim, some facts and figures, 3, 4 points, 5 points will be sufficient. But if it is for the main exam, you need deeper, better understanding, where so that you can write the answer in the right perspective, you can analyze it, you can take a view on this issue, because conflicting opinion will come. What is good and bad, you will have to take an opinion then. Newspapers will give different opinion. That is why I always suggest that you should read only such newspapers, such articles and such websites which are balanced, which which are responsible. So irresponsible blogs, irresponsible sites, irresponsible hate mongers and all, don't read also. That is why we insist that read Hindu, the Hindu newspaper, read the Indian Express, maybe go through the BBC, Al Jazeera, like that. Don't read any altu faltu, any channel just like that, or don't even watch news channels which are irresponsible. Very, very dangerous. You will create wrong opinion. They are all sold out news channels. It will be disastrous for you if you watch such channels, and if you are if you are filled with such hatred and all, you will not be able to write good answers. So you have to be extremely careful about what you read and which channel you watch. I mean, I'll talk about that a bit. So you have to be, so a couple of points, let me just remind you. First of all, you will be able to identify the right topics and the right articles only if you know the syllabus. You should be able to correlate with syllabus. You can do that only if you know the syllabus and only if you have seen the previous year questions. Both are extremely important. That is the first point I already said. Second point is you have to decide whether this topic is for preliminary or for main. If it is a preliminary topic, 3-4 facts and figures. If it is for main exam, then in-depth understanding, knowledge, you have to create opinion, you have to analyze everything. So, you have to do. Now, decide, second point is decide whether it is for pre or for main. Then, there is no substitute to reading newspaper. You cannot say that I will read finally a monthly magazine in the end of the month. No, you have to do something every day. Newspaper reading is a must. So, my suggestion is you have to have a newspaper, the Hindu or in the Indian Express, whichever you are comfortable. Even if that newspaper comes one day late, no problem. E-papers are available. If you want, you can do that way also. In these days, everything e-papers are available. My suggestion is, the moment you get the newspaper in your hand, don't read any in detail. Just go through the headlines first. Headlines first. Spend 10 to 15 minutes, all pages, just read the headline, maybe one sentence, 2 sentences, to get to know, oh, what is happening around us. Some bus accident also will be there, some international issue also, some shooting event also will be there, everything, some famous personality, death, maybe suicide, anything, so that you will get to know what has happened. 10-15 minutes, headlines will tell many things. You need not have to read further. So, when the corona time, if in Maharashtra, if you say the number of patients have crossed 1 lakh, 2 lakh, jo bhi hai, whatever be the number, or India has crossed this lakh, that lakh, oh fine, you got this idea from the headline itself. So, first is read headlines, get an idea about what is there in the whole newspaper. Then I will prefer you choose one topic from front page, preferably, because that is the most important news. That is what is likely to be asked in the exam. From the front page, maybe one news, maybe at the maximum 2, not more than that in a day. Please make notes also, and about this topic, with the front page article which you picked up, the topic which you picked up, definitely there will be editorial articles also in the middle page. If not today, tomorrow it will come. So, once you choose a topic, you make sure that you are trying to collect full picture, full information. What is it? Why is it happening? When was it started happening? What, when, why, where, who? All those questions you ask. In fact, in a long notebook. So, I will also prefer you to have classified notes preparation. You have to prepare notes preparation, classified notes preparation. So, different sections should have different either small notebooks or in a notebook you classify it, and every news, big news, you spend 2 pages. Full long notebook, 2 pages, start from the left side, write the heading. So, you can write in bullet form, so that you can add more information, and maybe after first day you may add it only in the 3/4 of a page, and tomorrow you got some more information in the editorial page, some editorial article came, it is an opinion about that article, about that event, that that issue. See, for example, line of actual control, the Chinese aggression or the standoff between India and China. You got the information from the front. Suppose you missed out in the first day, if every day, next day also the same news is coming, you can pick up the next day also. There is no big deal in that. You can even search in the internet to get more information about that. What has happened? When was it started? Which are the places where it is happening? Which is that lake? All those things. You write down the facts and figures, and in every newspaper, lot of opinion articles came subsequently. It may be continue to come for a week's time, maybe 10 days, maybe 15 days. So, whenever, and since you have picked up that article, that topic, Whenever there is a new article about that, just go through that very quickly. Just search, is there any additional information? If it is there, please write down with date, you please add. So keep adding. So what is happening is within 2 pages, that story can be very beautifully concluded. You keep a target of not more than 2 pages, 2 sides of the sheet. And if at all, if that becomes so important and it has crossed, you can also buy this sticky pages are there, you can stick it. You write it on that page, stick it in that page so that you can read anytime. So maintain 2 sides of a sheet. In the left side you start, so that in the same page when you open, you can see everything there only. If you have to draw some diagram also, some map also, everything you can do there. Maybe cut and paste there a map, that is also possible if it is required. So 1 article a day, at the maximum 2 articles a day, not more than that. Even if you are adding 1 article a day, in 1 year you are having 365 articles. Some days if you are picking 2 articles a day, it becomes, if every day 2 you may not get, but still 500 to 600 articles or topics, which is quite large. You will have to revise everything because these are all facts and figures, and with even the opinion is also, we have to memorize it. Then only we can use the same opinion in the exam. So my point here is, pick only 1 article or maximum 2 articles or 2 topics a day so that 1 hour, within 1 hour you should be able to complete the process. Use internet at that time to know more. Suppose a particular term you did not understand, search in the internet, get it. So most of the time, even from Wikipedia you can get it, that is not a big deal, but the article is there in the Hindu newspaper or Indian Express, so it's very easy. Or you can search in BBC, you can search in New York Times, you can search in some of the best of the news channels or other the newspapers across the world, because these days things are very easy to get. So you collect 1 or 2. So don't worry about you missing out something from today. Suppose you did not see the line of actual control, the standoff between India and China, you did not read it today. But tomorrow, if it's an important news, it will come tomorrow also. It will come day after tomorrow also. It may be there for a week's time, maybe 10 days. You will be able to, definitely you will get. First day you ignored, second day you ignored, third day you will get it. You will not miss an important topic, I can guarantee you. Stick to the front page, and editorial page is to add information about the front page news. Front page will give facts and figures, editorial will give you opinion. What is the opinion? And opinion, especially in Hindu newspaper, in Indian Express and all, definitely it can be used. Only caution you have to make is, if that editorial is written by a politician, in the editorial page, if an article is written by a politician, if a BJP spokesperson has written, then no point in reading that. Or if an opposition leader is writing that, don't read, because that you may not, because only one-sided opinion will be there. We know. So you just see who is writing, and if you see it is a BJP spokesperson or a minister is writing, generally no point in reading, because that is a government's version. We will not get any analysis, you will not get any opinion, you will not be able to conclude anything on that. So maybe, and if you did not get anything, you also search PIB, Press Information Bureau. That is a very good source of the official version about a scheme, about a program. What is the government's version? You will get it. Opinion you will get maybe from Indian Express or Hindu. So you can easily manage it. So use internet also to get further information about that particular topic, but stick to not more than 2 pages, not more than 1 hour a day. Focus on the front page, and then try to get the opinion from the editorial page. And one more point I would like to remind you is, when you collect information, try to be balanced. There should be economic news, there should be political news, there should be science and tech, there should be international bilateral news. If you are collecting only one type of news, that means you are not doing it properly. See, in the, you have to make the notes in a classified format also, because tomorrow, when the exam comes, some things are used for paper 1, some things are for paper 2, some of the news are for paper 3. So, you have to classify. I will talk about which are the broad areas to be there. So, it should be classified. Then the articles you write, heading, the date should be there, and it should be classified. There should be an index page in the book. So, then the first page should be the index page, whereby you can easily know, okay, which are the items. A page number should be there. You should tell, okay, on LAC standoff between India and China, you write page number 28 of my notebook, and there you please write the date also, so that you know which day you wrote it. Everything should be very clear. I mean, you should have a catalog, proper catalog should be there, and it should be classified. Tomorrow, if there is a news on the Indian line of control, India, Pakistan, so it may be page number 30. Like this, you should be able to writing, so that you can always keep track of it. So, all international news in one place, all economic news in one place, like that you should classify. And then one important thing, let me just remind you, ultimately suppose you have 500 stories in a year, you should be able to revise it again and again. If you are writing down and if you are not revising, if you are not studying, everything is a waste. Don't expect any miracles to happen. You need to revise it again and again, then only you can remember it. Then only you can remember it. So, maybe 5 times of revision, 7 times of revision, because especially current affairs require repeated revision, because you have to, unless there is nothing called as a concept as such. You should be remembering the facts and figures, and even the reason, the opinion, everything you have to remember accordingly. So, repeated revision is a must. Consolidation is the key. You will have to use the internet also, the newspaper websites, the PIB website, BBC website, maybe Washington Post website, the Guardian website. So, you should be collecting from multiple sources. Even there are areas like specific, like down to earth. I will come to that. So, you should have that classified collection of news and repeated revision. So, I am just writing it also, classified news plus repeated revision, not more than 1 hour a day. You have to fix time. That sense of urgency should be there. You should know, I cannot do more than 1 hour. So, I have to collect whatever I have to collect within that time. Sense of urgency, not more than 1 hour, sense of urgency. Now, I will be talking about the detailed area. I said broad classification. What are the broad classifications we can do? The next discussion. And now I will be the next part of my discussion is on this detailed syllabus and how to classify the current affairs news. Now, let me discuss about the various areas or the classification of the syllabus. So, in fact, otherwise current affairs, current developments, we can say everything is current affairs, but still I would like you to do things in a bit systematic way, so that we can manage things subsequently. I talked about not more than 1 or 2 topics a day, very important, because other than that also we will get lot of things. Suppose when you join the course, definitely we will also take current affairs, so it will add to that. So, there will be many more topics with you, and there is no end to this collection of the topics. So, let me just talk about when you collect, you have to collect it in an organized way. You please arrange in a classified way, so that revision will become easy. And the first area I would like to you to make is the the first area should be your Indian heritage, culture and history related. Okay, Indian heritage, culture and history related. In fact, when you may be wondering how can there be history in current affairs? Yes, there are areas which will which can get you a clue, and especially the culture related. So, because the culture will cover salient aspects of various aspects, like dance, music, then architecture, then fairs, festivals, then theatre, drama, painting, theatre, drama, paintings, literature, martial arts, anything, anything in news. If there is an article on some martial art, some dance or drama or literature or some art form, because India is such a vibrant culture. India has so much of forms of this culture, dance, music, architecture, everything. So anything in news you find, and it can be asked in the main exam also, but mostly in the preliminary exam. And so please search on those information. Suppose some article on Kalaripayat of Kerala. So naturally, if something you see, some news, you should be able to, you should collect it and you should make some additional notes about that, which is very, very important. And this CCRT website can be of great use. So please use that. And also please remember Art and Culture Part 1, 11th class NCRT book, Art and Culture Part 1. Okay, Art and Culture Part 1. 11th class NCRT can be of great help. So please search for, when you read, I said no, you please read the headlines of the entire newspaper. In that you will get this. It may take 2 minutes only to collect, and maybe 5 minutes to search in the internet to get further information. 5-6 points about that, which state is there, which community is doing that, what is the speciality, in which month it is being celebrated. So whatever it is, it's not going to be very tough, very easy. Once you know that, you have to collect from Art and Culture, and you in the entire 1 week or 2 weeks of newspaper reading, and if you did not get anything related to history and art and culture, then you have to be a bit careful, because you missed out somewhere or you are overlooking something. So be careful. So then also centenary years of any historic event or any place, any event of the archaeological survey, archaeological sites, centenary years, any event or any famous person's death, or birth year, okay, death, anniversary, birth anniversary, or renaming of anything. Like recently you might have heard about the Port Trust of Calcutta was renamed as SP Mukherjee Port Trust. Now please know more about SP Mukherjee. Please know more about Port Trust, because these are the way things will happen. Then we have UNESCO heritage sites, World Heritage Sites, the even global sites, indigenous sites, sites in India, major sites in the world. Some of them, if it is in news, please read. You do not have to read all the sites in the world. It may be in thousands, so we cannot do that. But all sites in India, definitely you should know that history, some geography, some art and culture, everything related to that site. Why is it a heritage site according to UNESCO? So all these things, So art and culture, please search, and you should get any event. Something happened in history, its centenary or anything related. So one area should be the Indian heritage, culture and history, and you should be able to collect, and you will be able to collect it. So that is one area. Second, so broad classification in which you have to collect is geography related. See, geography is very important. In my geography discussion I have said, that in the main exam, paper 1 100 marks, paper 2 that economic geography, paper 3 economic geography 50-60 marks. If you add environment also another 100 marks in paper 3 also. Then in preliminary 8 to 10 questions minimum, it can go up any time. Environment questions are different. So it's a very, very important area, and in this geography, even in preliminary, some of them are current related, map based also, which is the place in news. So the even GI tag, geographical indicator tagging. If Dindigul locks have been designated as a geographical indicator tag if it is given, or maybe the Malabar pepper or Darjeeling tea. See, it is the first to be given the GI tag. So you please talk about that, you identify the location, know something more about that region, and if it is about the locks, the speciality of the lock, where is the Dindigul place located in the map also. So these kind of things, it's very important. So you have to, whenever something in geography comes, you must locate on the map. Please identify that. So please use your atlas very regularly, or in the notes if you are making, cut and paste the map there so that you can remember. Okay. Then any international summit, location, international summit location, or any dispute or boundary like South China Sea, the dispute, the boundary, the islands, the Spratly Islands. Okay. So you please see that in the South China Sea, which of them are there. Then even any discovery of something new discovered, or some archaeological thing discovered, the location of the seas, the countries associated. So anything, okay, oceans, their connectivity, the routes, I mean anything in news related to that. And again, lot of geophysical phenomena, which is a cyclone, tsunami, volcano, earthquakes. So every time in news, cyclone, tsunami, earthquake, volcanoes. So anything of that nature happened, you please locate also. Map work is very important. Then any demographic or urbanization related in news, the population. See, now we are, the census is going to happen also. So a lot of things related to census, population, urbanization. See, for example, during the COVID pandemic, we heard so much about Dharavi. Now, please know something more about Dharavi, because geographically it is very important. The largest, it is said that it is one of the largest slums in Asia. And so, you should have a complete understanding of that. So, please know more about that. Make some notes about that Dharavi, so much in news. So, then even the poverty, see lot of data related to poverty, developmental issue data, the human development indices. All, it can be economics, it can be geography, but what I am saying, anything, any data related to all these things when it comes, geography, the region, suppose, Horn of Africa. Where is this Horn of Africa? And, or the Sahel region of Africa. If you say something of this nature, Sahel in Africa, where is it? Which are the countries involved in it? And why is it called Sahel? So have more understanding. And in fact, this climate change is it's a reality. Ocean currents, then El Nino. So where is it located? Why is it happening? Where all these extreme climates are found? If ice caps are melting, or water bodies are drying up. So many questions. Aral Sea drying up, or rather Aral Sea, the pollution. or Lake Victoria pollution. So, like that, when these are the kind of things which are in news always, locate it, very important. So, you can get lot of information, and in the newspaper itself will tell you, when you go through the headlines, you can see these things very easily. Anything related to the destruction of the forest, for example, the Amazon forest destruction, the Bolsonaro or the Brazilian president who is talking about we should be clearing more forests. So, please have an idea whenever, and you please locate also map reading plus making notes geography related, and two good sources I can think of is, one is the Down to Earth magazine. Down to Earth magazine can be of great help. Its website is also there, lot of articles come. Then Geography and You, another magazine, Geography and You. See, I am not saying that you have to subscribe and do and all, but you see, these are all, and anyway, in the newspaper, these items will come. Down to Earth is definitely good. Environmental issues, all, any issue, social issues, Down to Earth can be of great use. Facts and figures, small articles are also there, you can easily manage. So, geography related, okay, geography related, you please, whichever you identify, there should be a portion, there should be a separate section for geography related news and views, so that you can, and you see, as I told repeatedly, 100 marks worth questions are coming in paper 1 in the main exam in geography, and many of them are current related. So, these news will definitely help, and so that is about geography. Then the third area which you will be seriously doing, that is polity, governance, etc. Polity, governance. So, any law passed by the parliament, any new law by parliament, any constitutional amendment, any new scheme started by new schemes. The Modi government, Prime Minister Modi government is known for starting so many schemes and programs, endless names and acronyms. Many times it is very difficult, especially people in South India find it very difficult, because Hindi names, acronym and all, very difficult to even understand what is the meaning of that. So, but you have to remember that questions can be asked. Major judgments of Supreme Court and High Courts, major judgments of Supreme Court or High Courts, very important. See, like there was a judgment on reservation in promotion. So, there was a judgment recently about reservation in the higher education, and especially the MD seats in in medical science. Supreme Court refused to take up the case by saying that reservation is not a fundamental right. They can approach in the High Court. So, now the Tamil Nadu political parties have approached the High Court. So, anyway, so what I am trying to say is, these judgments are very important. Then related article. So, once again reservation is in news, Article 15 will be in news, Article 16 will be in news. So, a series of judgments related issues, especially for the main exam, for preliminary, everywhere it will be useful. Then any major appointment, and if it is in news, any change in the constitutional position or powers, function, etc. So, constitutional bodies, appointments to constitutional bodies. So, if it is in news, because of the appointment, know more about the body, not about the person. Or even the quasi-judicial bodies, if something is in news, please make sure that, suppose SEBI is in news, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Know more about that, because that was in news right now. So, please look at that, the quasi-judicial bodies, constitutional bodies, regulatory bodies. So, try Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. If it is in news, if they have done something, so any policy, any intervention, any NGO, any self-help group, okay, any donor, any charity, suppose Bill Gates Foundation. Just an example I am giving. If they are given some money somewhere, we should look into that. Now, PM Care Fund, PM Cares, what are the controversy behind that? Who are the major contributors? Whatever be news, I mean, you cannot get more information, but yes, what is the idea behind it, why people are criticizing, what are the issues behind it. So, try to understand the various NGOs, self-help groups, various groups, association. So, all related to social justice, polity, constitution. So, this should be a big area. You will get lot of ideas and lot of topics in the newspaper, and please collect. See, now at the end of the day, if you are collecting only polity and governance related, then something is wrong, because you are one sided, you are biased. So, only to polity and governance and social justice, it should not be the case. That is why I am saying, if the broad headings are there, if you are not adding anything to a particular area, you should be a bit concerned also. How can it be possible that no news at all? Okay. So, this polity governance area. Then a fourth area is related to international issues, international bilateral issues. International bilateral issues. So, any visit by a foreign dignitary, any visit by Prime Minister Modi or Indian leaders abroad, any treaty, any new organization or any new idea which emerged in the international field, any groupings, new groupings, anything related to that, any new World Bank, IMF, WTO, then maybe an Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Asian Development Bank, New Development Bank, any UN organization. See, WHO is in news so much because of the corona pandemic. On a daily basis, things are coming. Know more about WHO. Questions can definitely be asked about the corona pandemic, and did WHO manage things in the right way, or many accusations against the WHO also. Americans stopped funding. Even in UNESCO, Americans stopped funding and all. They walked out also, some of the organizations. So please see that. I mean, that is how we collect information. That is how we have to. So, you have to, by seeing that, just reading that news alone is not sufficient. Know more about that organization, know more about that agency, then you will be really doing a great job. And similarly, another big area, so after this international bilateral issues, a fifth area I would like to talk is Indian economy. Fifth area is Indian economy. The budget related, the schemes related, then government projects, any project, what is the role of the state, the role of the central government. Please look into that. What is the sharing mechanism? Then have at least some of the chapters of economic survey, some of the boxes in the economic survey can be of great help. Then any new term, public distribution system, investment model, any state specific new programs, any state specific new programs. Then any new term, because these days these economic experts come up with some new term. See, for example, recently fiscal slippage. Fiscal slippage, or fiscal stimulus. So much in news. Yeah, tax buoyancy. Or escrow account, like that, many terms which are in news. So, whenever you see such terms, unique terms, economic terms, there is a likelihood of being asked, what is that? They may only ask, what is the meaning of it? Okay, foreign institutional investor, every now and then we hear what are they, or who are they, okay, or sovereign fund. See, in Reliance Jio, a sovereign fund from Abu Dhabi. What is that? Okay, what do you mean by sovereign fund? So, you have clarity. So, any term which you read in the news, I mean, get more information about that, make a note about that. What is it? In which context it is being used? Why is it important? All the so anything related to so many economic questions in preliminary as well as in the main exam are related to the what is in news. So, please collect that. Then another area is this India's in economic geography. In economic, especially I would like to make it a separate heading, that is the Indian economic geography. It is economy also, it is geography also. Okay. See, for example, major crops. The Kharif season, the Rabi season, the Zaid season, then cropping pattern, bumper crop, or horticulture, animal husbandry. A lot of news about all these things. So, crops, cropping pattern, then irrigation, lot of issues related to irrigation. Then various technology missions are going on, technology missions, right. Then one is related to agriculture, and animal husbandry, the procurement price, minimum support price, then the public distribution system, PDS. A lot of things in news, direct benefit transfer, what is that all linked in this particular case, inclusive growth, we talk about inclusive growth, anything related to all these things come in general also. In economics we talk about inclusive growth, in agriculture it is specifically. So, keep a track of all these things. Then when it comes to infrastructure areas, I mean it's clearly mentioned in the main exam also, port, road, rail, power, mining, okay, power sector like hydroelectric power sector, thermal power sector, nuclear power sector, okay, everything related to this infrastructure related, telecom. See, telecom, power, road, communication, transportation, shipping, port already said, I mean shipping. So, like this very important area, economic geography. If geography is there, economics is there, both are involved. Then another very important area is industry. The primary sector industries, the secondary sector, the tertiary sector, primary sector, the mining, the secondary, the manufacturing, the tertiary, the the service sector, various aspects of industrial corridors. So, this economic geography portion all about agriculture, all about industry, all about infrastructure, very, very important. I mean, why I am saying is, otherwise you could have simply said either in geography or in economics, but no, I don't want it separate. This area is very, very important for the main exam, very important for preliminary. Many questions are linked to this. If you keep this as a separate heading, you will understand and you will start collecting more information in this, and you will not leave out anything unnecessarily. Okay. So, this economic geography, especially the Indian economic geography portion, is a very important area. Then comes, so a seventh area is, so this is sixth, right? International bilateral is fourth, Indian economy is fifth, then in economic geography is sixth, Seventh is science and technology. See, again, you need not know too much science in that. The developments and application, if something is in news, some say new vaccine, okay, anything related to health in science and technology, anything related to health, vaccine, any pandemic issue, I mean this kind of spread, and any application in day-to-day life, any application, any new gadget in day-to-day life. Now, this one simple example, Arogya Setu app, so much of in news, you should know more about that, why there is some controversy, some criticism, the issue of privacy, then you should even look into what is the concept of the digital privacy here or right to privacy in India. So, any achievement from India in any field, any achievement in any field. So, please keep a track of it, and then we have a series of areas like space, nuclear, biotech, then information technology, computers, nanotech, then defense, health related. I already talked about health related, diseases, vitamins, nutrition, health and nutrition. Right. So, then this is also an area, biotechnology is playing a very crucial role. So, biotechnology related issues like intellectual property rights, any IPR issue, any judgment related to this intellectual property rights, medicines, generic medicine, Indian companies. Then we have common man's Prime Minister's Jan Aushadhi scheme. What is that? Generic medicine. Then Indian biotech companies, pharma companies, anything in news. So, just keep a track of it, and any news coming, especially related to all these aspects, any pure science discovery also, anything discovered about outer space, about the galaxies, keep a track of it. So, science and tech, there should be a separate portion, you cannot leave it, you may not like it, we may have to memorize it, but it's okay, let us do it. Then you have a separate area on environment. Environment related, the conservation related. See, the IUCN list, any news about any animal or anything in the IUCN list, the pollution related, air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, okay, a series of pollution related issues, degradation, environmental degradation, deforestation, okay. Then any disaster, environmental disaster, even man-made, natural, health hazards, okay, health hazards, any summit, any treaty related to health, environment, biodiversity summits, anything related to ocean. See, a lot of questions related to ocean pollution, ship pollution, oil spill, even the coral reefs, dead zones in oceans, plastic pollution in oceans. So, a series of issues related to ocean ecosystem, the pollution there. So, anything related to any summit, any treaty, any conference of parties, COPs, conference of parties. So, any animal, any endangered species in news, any vulnerable species in news, any critically endangered animal in news, like the death of an elephant in Kerala, the killing of an elephant in Kerala rather. So, these kind of issues, when it comes, you keep track of it. Where was it? Why was it happening? The man-animal conflict, it's increasing, especially in India. Across the world, it is increasing. Even the corona pandemic is a result of this virus jumping from animal, the wild, to human beings. More clarity. So, environmental. So, these are the 8 different areas, and in 9th area we can say general knowledge, or maybe I will say miscellaneous. Anything other than that, anything in general, any other development which if you cannot club into this, and but still you think it can be asked in the exam, very important, repeatedly coming in news, you keep it as a miscellaneous topic or a general knowledge topic. India yearbook can be of great help here. Manorama yearbook. So, a couple of yearbooks, India yearbook, Malayalam Manorama yearbook, or even Madhrubhumi yearbook. So, these yearbooks can be of great help in having more ideas about the general knowledge. So, this general knowledge can be the 9th area. So, 9 different headings, classify it, and at the end of a month, I mean start doing things, you please start. Then if you are collecting items from only 1 or 2 areas, that means there is a lack of balance in your preparation. We will also help, because in the class we have every week we have current affairs classes. We have a monthly current affairs magazine for you. But these are secondary. The primary source should be yours. We are not spending more than 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes for this. There should be a sense of urgency for you. Don't try to maximize things about the same issue. You should know that you have to write only 150 or 250 words. Opinion, analysis, and a firm opinion about that particular issue from your side should be created by collecting in the right way, the right analysis. Don't be biased. Keep our preamble in mind, where the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic principles should be applied. Justice, equality, liberty, fraternity should be there in your opinion. Things will be very smooth. But you need to do this exercise. You cannot say that I will not collect, somebody else will collect and monthly I will read. No, that will be a disastrous plan for you. You will not get the real sense. So, memorizing the syllabus is very important. Looking into previous year questions, at least the last 3-4 years question paper almost on a daily basis is very important. Whenever you find an economic article, you see the economic questions, just to confirm that okay, you are in the right track. So, that will help you in molding your opinion also, in the seriousness of the topic also you will get it, so that there will be a scientific mode of preparation. And as far as the our course is concerned, we will definitely do all the, and the advantage, the beauty will be, if you collected something and if you are also teaching the same thing in the class, you should be very happy, because you also thought the same way as we are thinking about the topic. You got many things already, so you know it, so it's a revision for you when we take the class. If you get some additional information from us, you please add to your notes. It will be easy for you. So, it will be reinforcement. See, you should not be worried that, oh, I also collected, now sir is also doing the same thing. That should be a happy thing, because we are in the same wavelength, we are thinking in the same line, we are thinking about a topic in the same way. So, you started thinking like us. That is more important. That means your preparation is in the right track. So, current affairs is a vast area, but we have to keep time. You cannot endlessly read current affairs on a daily basis. 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes, then consolidation, revision, repeated revision. Many rounds of revision are required, because you are collecting every day, you are adding information, and if you keep on collecting without revision, you will not be able to use in the exam. Please don't collect anything which you cannot revise. Whatever you collect, we should be able to revise again and again and again. before the exam, before the prelim, before the main exam. That should be our strategy. And once we start doing systematically and scientifically, like these 7 or 8 headings which I suggested, things will be very easy for you. And you will start getting confidence in your preparation. Confidence will come if you are doing systematically and scientifically. We are there with you. We will ensure that your current affairs will never be a problem, but your groundwork is more important, or rather the most important thing. Then we can supplement with our ideas, our material, our topics, but your groundwork is the most important factor, because it's a partnership. You also will have to do, we will also will have to do. So both of us, if we do our work, you will succeed in this exam. So that's about how to prepare current affairs from my side.